Breaking. Detroit has done it. Brandon Scherff is coming to the Lions, and the interior just got meaner. Tap like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Because what we're about to break down changes Sundays. In the NFC North, this isn't a depth ad or a practice squad flyer. This is a proven all-pro caliber guard stepping into a line that already features Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, and Penei Sewell. Translation for game day: fewer jailbreaks up the middle, cleaner lanes for David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, and a calmer pocket for Jared Goff when the stadium is shaking on 3rd and 4. That's the headline, and it's a big one. Let's talk. Why this matters in plain English. The Lions' identity under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes has been simple. Own the line of scrimmage, stay on schedule, and take the soul out of defenses by the fourth quarter. Brandon Scherff fits that attitude. He's a mauler with hands, balance, and veteran timing in combo blocks. When you run duo, inside zone, or power, the difference between 2nd and 8 and 2nd and 4 is the guard who sticks on a double just long enough and then climbs to erase a linebacker. That's Scherff. He doesn't need help to sort stunts. And he doesn't panic when a nose slants late. Detroit's offense thrives on play action and rhythm throws. If the A-gaps are quiet, Ben Johnson can keep the full playbook open, boots, deep overs, shot plays off max protect, without living in obvious passing downs. Protection detail for the fans who love the trenches. Next to Penei Sewell, Scherff gives you a right side wall that can set at depth against power and still redirect inside games. He carries a 3-tech just long enough for Ragnow to overtake. Then he's up on the mic with his hips square and his eyes up. Against blitz, his anchor keeps the pocket from collapsing early, which is exactly what allows Goff to step and rip. Those seam throws to Amon-Ra St. Brown or hit the backside dig to Jameson Williams. You want third down answers? This is one of them dot short yardage and red zone. This is where it gets loud. Inside the 5, Detroit loves to align heavy motion. The tight end and cave in an edge. A veteran guard who wins leverage on snap one lets you run downhill without getting bounced sideways. Montgomery's style is perfect for that. And Gibbs' burst becomes even more dangerous when the first contact is 2 yards deeper. Adding quarterback keepers, bootlegs, and play-action leaks to Sam Laporta, and now every goal-to-go looks like a multiple-choice test the defense can't pass. Availability matters, and so do habits. Scherff is a pro's pro film work, footwork, and the boring stuff fans rarely see but coaches swear by. He brings a standard to the room. Same stance depth, same split, same cadence timing, series after series. That consistency is why offensive lines weather injuries better. You can plug a young left guard next to him and not feel like the roof is caving in. For a team with real January goals, boring and reliable on the interior is a feature. Not a bug. Scheme fit is straightforward. Ben Johnson doesn't need to redesign the offense to make this work. He just gets to call what he already believes in with more confidence. Run menu stays flexible. Inside zone to punish soft boxes. Duo when you want vertical double teams. Counter with a backside kickout when ends get greedy. In pass pro, the right side can handle 5-man protections more often, which means more eligibles out in routes and more stress on safeties who already have to respect Detroit's play action and RPO looks. Every coordinator wants choices. This move gives the Lions more of them. Let's address the cap and roll without circles. This is a veteran guard who commands respect and money, but the expectation here is a structure that makes year one manageable, with playtime incentives and roster bonuses instead of empty guarantees. If the staff wants him at right guard, he pairs naturally with Sewell and Ragnow. If they prefer him left, the communication is good enough that you can mirror the same principles without breaking the huddle late. Either way, the depth chart gets thicker and the margin for a bad Sunday gets thinner. Now to matchup picture, because that's what you feel at home. Against Minnesota's simulated pressures, the antidote is veterans who pass off twists like they're in walkthrough. Against Green Bay's long interior rushers, You need hands that win early so the quarterback doesn't have to drift. Against Chicago's games inside, staying square prevents runbacks into sacks. Scherf checks those boxes. He won't win every rep, but he will win the important ones, the downs that swing drives and steal halftime points. Leadership isn't a speech. It's third quarter, crowds buzzing. You just gave up a sack, and the next play is clean because the protection call was crisp and the footwork was right. That's how veteran linemen flip momentum without anyone outside the huddle noticing. Detroit's skilled talent is already there. The line is the multiplier. When the right guard position is steady, the whole offense breathes. Okay, reality check. That you deserve. At the time we're recording this, the team has not posted a graphic, there's no official press release, and there isn't a jersey photo. What we have, and why we're talking with urgency, is a very advanced path to a deal. Terms sketched, role defined, logistics mapped, medical windows penciled in, and green lights from the people who matter. In other words, this is high-confidence speculation built on real steps, not wish casting. If anything changes, numbers, years, a late bid from another team, we'll tell you the why, not just the what. So what does this mean for Sundays? In Detroit, more second and manageable, fewer obvious passing downs, less hero ball and protection. It means Ben Johnson can call the shot plays on his schedule, not because he has to chase the game. It means the fourth quarter runs feel heavier because the doubles have stacked body blows for 3 quarters. And it means that in the 2-minute drill, when a defense wants to tee off, the A-gaps are quiet enough for timing routes to live. Let's put it into pictures. Week to week, you'll notice drives that used to stall on an interior pressure now get to 3rd and 2 and stay alive. You'll notice fewer flags on desperation holds inside because the hands were inside and the feet were. Right. You'll notice Gibbs catching a check down with a runway instead of a defender in his lap. That's not sexy on a highlight reel, but it's how playoff teams bank wins in November and December. One more piece for those who love development. Veterans like Scherf accelerate growth around them. Young linemen learn blitz tails faster. Tight ends block with better hand placement, and backs get more decisive because landmarks are consistent. The trickle-down is real. It shows up in how quickly a unit can change a protection mid-cadence or reset a split after motion without burning. A timeout. Little things, big scoreboard effect, potential concerns. Be honest and answer them. Age exists. That's why the contract structure matters and why rotation snaps and blowouts are smart. Health is always a variable. It is for every player in this league. But the risk management plan is also simple. Practice plan accountability, smart usage, and a deep room that can hold serve if he misses a series. The upside for Detroit's ceiling is worth that calculus if you've been riding with this team. Through the rebuild, you know this front office doesn't chase names for headlines. They add pros who fit the culture. Scherf is that type. Blue-collar work, clean tape, and the kind of reliability that turns a good offense into a miserable afternoon for defensive coordinators. That's the vision. Final reminder before we sign off. Until the franchise makes it public, it's not official. But everything we're hearing points one direction. When the announcement drops, if it drops, you'll get the fast breakdown. Here, contract shape in simple terms, first practice notes, and a clear look at how the right side trio with Sewell and Radno functions. And if something swerves, we'll bring the reason, not clickbait. That's our promise to this community. If you value straight talk without fluff, drop a like, subscribe, and share this with the Lions fan who sits next to you every Sunday. Tell us in the comments what you want covered next. Short yardage menu. With Scherf, the third down protection rules, or how the run game sequencing changes in the red zone. This channel keeps it simple. What Detroit is doing, why they're doing it, and how it looks on the field. See you in the next update. Bonus matchup note for the detail hawks. When teams try to mug the A-gaps and spin late, the answer isn't magic. It's communication and trust. Expect more full-line slides with the back scanning inside out because coaches will trust the right guard to win his half-man and pass off the looper. Expect more five-man protections on early downs, which keeps an extra receiver in the route and forces defenses to declare coverage. Against wide 9 ends who love to crash inside, Scherf's hip-to-hip work with seals the fold and opens, toss crack or pin pull looks that get Gids sprinting at a safety instead of a linebacker, and versus fronts that stem and shift, late to bait false starts. His cadence discipline helps the whole right side sit still and punish the jumpers with free plays. For December football, this is the exact type of move that pays off when the weather turns and games compress. Cold. Loud? Hostile? Good. Veteran guards who keep a pocket steady and a run track clean travel everywhere. Detroit has been building a bully in the trenches for years. Adding one more adult in the room is how that identity survives injuries, road swings, and playoff stress. That is the point. See you soon.